Look at that. All of that oil, it's covering everything out here. People who live in this neighborhood really at a loss on what they're going to do to clean all of this up.
Just to show you how powerful these storms were, it took a piece of wood like this, it split it in half, the other half went shooting straight into the side of the wall here.
Well, Jessica, definitely some high water out here. Take a look at this parking lot right now. It looks more like a lake, and if you'll take a look down here, you can see the water is coming up past my ankles. Now, this is the parking lot of a movie store, but you know what? This water isn't stopping people from coming in and dropping off their DVDs, and this business was actually prepared for this. Take a look. They have sandbags right out front of this door to keep that water from coming in.
And you can see this is a piece of the truck that was pulled out today. Police telling us in the recent months they have pulled out 4 vehicles from this lake.
Take a look to my right. You can see I'm surrounded by Christmas lights and decorations, but on the other side of the yard you can see it goes dark with just stakes and duct tape left behind.
Valibri 27 County, can you show me on duty?
County Fire, welcome back to shift.
It feels good. It's kind of exciting. I don't know, when I put on the uniform today and knew I was coming back from my first official day, I was like, it feels good. I mean, it really does. As he started slowing down, he finally decided to get off right here, right under the underpass, and his vehicle stopped a little bit up front there. When I got out to approach his vehicle, that's when he took fire on me, and I ran to the back to take cover. I remember getting my radio and asking the good Lord to let it work properly. Yeah, I told myself and my wife, if I made everything back and was able to get back out there and do this job again, I would do it. I know there's days that we all have hard times out here as police officers, especially nowadays how things are, but to me it's a joy that I like doing. I mean, it's comforting to me that I can get out here and I can help others.
Water is unforgiving. It's not going to care, and so if you go underneath the water and don't come back up, then it's an unfortunate situation, and a life jacket can prevent that from happening. We try to give everybody an opportunity to be informed of the law, and then we make friendly contacts with them, and we don't like to surprise people. And in our lake, if you're under the age of 13, anywhere in the lake and you're in the water, you have to have a life jacket on. That is a posted regulation and a city ordinance. You can drown in very shallow water. That is why it is absolutely imperative for young people to have life jackets on.
46-7, I'm about to go 9.
We have been given some vouchers by the company of Brahms, and if an officer catches a kid being good and being in the water, then we have a few of those we can hand out and give them a free ice cream. Be safe, have fun.
Apologize, I want to introduce you to a very special little girl. We're going to bring you down to her level. This is Josie, and she went to a Thunder game yesterday, and thanks to those implants, she could hear it all.
Can't contain it now and certainly couldn't contain her joy at the Thunder game. Nothing but net for them and nothing but excitement for her.
She is able to hear now because she just received in September her cochlear implants.
The cheers, the music, and all the sounds that come with the game heard loud and clear, and it was a welcomed experience. Her painted face says it all.
She loved it. Immediately was just like taking everything in. She wanted to go everywhere.
Josie was a NICU baby. Her twin brother died. She survived but had hearing issues.
Turns out she was diagnosed with auditory neuropathy, which is She can hear sometimes, and then sometimes she couldn't hear at all.
But those days are now far behind her thanks to good doctors and Hearts for Hearing, a nonprofit organization.
She's one of a wild, crazy kid.
Is that a cookie?
Her parents can't thank the Thunder, Victor Oladipo, and Hearts for Hearing for the loudest experience of her little life so far.
It meant everything to us.
Mecca Ranko, CO5 News.
This is an angler's paradise, the Blue River. It's stocked with rainbow trout from November 1st through the end of March. You can find it a short 2-hour drive from Oklahoma City, just north of Tishomingo, Oklahoma. And the drive is well worth it, according to local fly fisherman Barry Schrader.
Blue River is just an absolute masterpiece of creation in nature. It's just miles of cascading, rippling water, tree-lined banks, and a huge community of wildlife. It's just a fabulous place.
There are 1,000 acres of wilderness surrounding 6 miles of river. We caught up with the Blue River fisheries biologist Matt Gamble, who told us from November to January the trout come from Arkansas.
Those fish are provided by the federal government as mitigation for putting dams on Oklahoma streams and rivers. They are provided free to the state.
After mid-January, Oklahoma then purchases about 14,000 pounds of additional rainbow trout.
The actual contract states 11 to 14 inches, with 10% being over 14 inches but less than 24 inches. What that means is 10% of those fish are going to be trophy-sized fish.
So let's see if we can get a strike here. Ooh, had a hit. Let's pull that out of his mouth. Okay, so we'll go back. So they're definitely feeding.
Each stocking is generally 2,400 fish. Sometimes we double that if it's like the week of Thanksgiving or New Year's Day, and we know that we're going to have a big crowd, we'll double that.
The Blue River is pretty diverse when it comes to access. Sometimes the water is hard to get to, but like this spot, easily accessible for the fly fishermen or even the family with little kids.
Most people start out fishing for trout with just simple power bait. For the kids, just get a Snoopy rod and reel and let them go at it. And you'd be surprised, sometimes the kids, or oftentimes the kids will outfish the adults.
Fish on.
Anglers can expect to catch the trout until about May, when the waters become too warm.
Sorry, buddy.
Here in Minco, the normal hustle and bustle of students in class has been replaced by employees cleaning and disinfecting the schools, all in an effort to get students back in class by next week. Empty hallways, bare classrooms, and vacant desks. It's not what you typically see on a school day in Minco. But after an alarming number of kids have come down with the flu and strep throat, the superintendent decided to cancel school for the rest of the week.
As the day progressed, we lost 36 students through the day with fever.
A total of 136 kids were out sick yesterday. That's 25% of the school population. Instead of those students getting behind or teachers having to reteach the material, Sims decided it would be best to cancel class until kids get well. Employees will spend the next few days cleaning and disinfecting the buildings.
Safety and security is the #1 need of each student. I feel like this decision helps the safety of our students. We've got to get them well and get them back in the classrooms.
A busy week of officer-involved shootings throughout Oklahoma City.
It's very unique.
Leaving some in the department concerned about recent actions by armed suspects.
In all 3 of these cases that have happened, they've been confronted with weapons, and that's really concerning.
Yesterday evening, the department responded to their 3rd police shooting in just 5 days, after they say this man, 40-year-old Jonathan Boyd, who they were investigating for beating a woman, charged at them armed with a knife.
I'm here 9 years, and I've never seen anything like this.
Boyd survived and is recovering at a local hospital before he will be transferred to jail. On Sunday night, police say this man, Hayden Taylor, also charged at an officer with a knife and was shot and killed. And a few hours before that, police say Todd Heenan shot at 3 officers, hitting one in a taser before he was eventually shot.
Right now, it does seem like there's a trend of that going on.